Hello everyone, Def Camp here with my brother Melderon. Say hello, Melderon.
Hello, everyone. Lotar Gar.
This is our Vanilla WoW discussion series, and this is episode number 10, guys. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We've had some amazing news regarding Classic WoW. We've had the recent demo announced for the BlizzCon virtual tickets. We've had some leaks talked about. We've had a lot of things speculated about BlizzCon, what they're going to be talking about. So, yeah, we've got a lot to talk about today, Melderon, don't we?
We do. And so, those are the three topics we're going to cover. We're going to cover the demo, what it means, what's important, what to look for, too, because that's really important as well. What other possible announcements we can get at BlizzCon. And, of course, we're going to cover those leaks, even though that they may be unfounded and just hearsay, but we're still going to talk about them and see if they're within the realm of possibility.
Absolutely. So let's jump into it. Let's start talking about. You want to go into the demo first and talk about that?
Yeah, let's tackle the easy stuff first. Let's go to the demo. Okay. And I just want to say before we go into that, I just want to thank everyone who commented on my Classic WoW vlog number 13. Well, what will be revealed at BlizzCon ? And that was basically an announcement, like you asking you guys, what do you think will be announced at BlizzCon? And that I want to thank everyone from Reddit and from YouTube that commented on that.
Yes, thank you guys.
The amazing part is none of us really thought there was going to be a playable demo, so I just want to think that was amazing.
Oh man, I'm still like in awe about this. Like a friggin' playable demo in what, a month basically? Like that's insane, man.
First week in November 2nd.
Oh, so let's talk about this. So the implications of this.
Well, let's go over what it is first for the people, just in case they don't know what it is.
Give them an overview, Phil.
Yeah, so basically, guys, if you buy the BlizzCon virtual ticket for $45, you'll get $45 US. I'm not sure how much it is in Canadian or the euro, but basically what that'll get you is that you'll be able to download and play the same demo that people are going to be playing at BlizzCon. You'll have access to two starting zones. My guess is going to be probably Durotar and Elwyn, but who knows what it's going to be. Yeah. No, it's not confirmed. That's just my guess. And two races. And we don't know. We don't know if it's two races. We know it's two starting zones.
Right.
We personally think it's going to be probably Orc and Human, but here's an issue with that we didn't talk about before. Between Orc and Human are all the classes available between those two.
No.
You definitely have Shaman.
Well, you don't have. Oh, you're talking about if we get.
If we get only two races, we don't have access to Druids.
Right, we don't have access to Priest for on the Horde side.
Yeah, but at least there's a human version, though, right?
Right.
So we have access to Priest.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right. So we won't have access to Druids. Yeah.
I think that's it.
We'll have Rogue, Hunter. Yeah, so we'll have a lot of, but what they could do is to help alleviate that, is maybe offer, well, you see, if you do the Orcs, you could do Trolls as well, since they have a similar.
You still won't have Druids, though.
You still wouldn't have Druids, no, but you would have Priest on the Horde side. You have Mage, yeah, so it's interesting. I think, a lot of people would definitely want to play all the classes, but that may or may not be possible. But who knows? If it's a demo, who knows? They might even have Tarn starting out in Durotar. We don't know, right? We don't know what they're going to do, so it's just speculation. But for what we do know is it's going to be, for sure, two starting zones, right?
Yeah, two
and
starting
what
zones
are the other facts? So what do we have for sure?
That's basically it. We don't know how high level you'll be able to go. We do know. I have heard confirmed there will be. So you'll be able to level past 10. You'll be able to see the talent trees. So that's a very important thing.
You broke up there for a sec. So you said past level 10, right?
You'll be able to get past level 10, which means that you'll have a talent point. Which means you'll be able to see the talent
That's good. That's so we'll be able to see, a lot of people were still speculating, even though in that water cooler announcement they had the 1.12 core, we don't know if they're going to use those talents or not, for sure yet. So this will give us a lot of information about what the core is going to be of the game. Even though it is just a demo, a lot of information will be in this graphics. We've heard some things about that in the leak, which we'll talk about as well.
We'll be able to test out macros.
Exactly. And even just little things such as pathing, such as abilities. Pathing's a big one. We have, numbers when it comes to damage and things like that. So I'm really, really excited.
So am I.
I'm going to be going about this demo as kind of someone looking at it from a very with a microscope, because I want to see how much. I'm sure a lot of people are as well. I want to see how much information we can actually get from this demo. So I'm really excited, man.
Yeah, and if you guys are on the fence about buying it, I want to say something, and this probably goes against Blizzard, but that's fine. We're here for the community. If you don't have the money to spend, or if you think it might be too expensive, there will be so much available on YouTube,
Yeah, not
including ourselves.
and streaming on Twitch and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so don't feel like you have to need to buy this. I think it's important that some people do buy it. Of course, I think it's good that the content creators are buying it. But if you're on the fence, I went crazy when I first made that announcement video and said go out and buy it. But on second thought, maybe not everybody can afford it, or they
Right.
want to buy it.
And not only that, it's like you're paying for someone like ourselves. I was on the fence with even buying a virtual ticket about BlizzCon because, of course, if I was able to go to this BlizzCon, I 100% would have, but I don't have the financial means, things like that, time. So the next best thing for me would be able to buy a virtual ticket. So this is something I was already considering buying a virtual ticket, and now I can also be able to play the demo. But if you weren't going to buy a virtual ticket at all, then you might want to think, is the demo really worth it? Because you're pretty much paying $50 for a demo of a game if you've already, how much money have you already given to Blizzard throughout all the other expansions?
Usually $50 gets you a whole game.
Exactly. So it's something to think about. Yeah, it'll definitely help out the hype a lot, But I gotta say,
but we do have access to the panel too, though. If you buy the virtual
exactly.
ticket.
So
but again, that'll be covered by us,
right?
and
right.
Other people.
So I think it's something to weigh. Weigh your options. Don't go out there and just buy it and expect that, oh yeah, if I get this, then I'm definitely gonna, no, this is just a demo. You're getting the virtual ticket. It's awesome that Blizzard is doing this. It's awesome that they're, even having this available to people that are buying the virtual ticket. But then again, exactly. So, a lot of people were saying, oh, how could Blizzard do this, that kind of thing. I mean, come on. They're a company. They're, they're out to get some money. And they're also doing us, the way I see it is it's really cool that they did this and have this available to anyone basically who wants to get it. But of course, there's that paywall in there.
Yeah. So let's brainstorm here. What are the kind of things you're interested in looking at immediately when you log in? What are you gonna look for?
Okay. Immediately when I log in, first thing is going to be graphics. Without a doubt, I want to make sure that there is not new character models, that there's no new character animations, that kind of thing. Speculating, this is all speculation, and I said this even before the recent leak and all that. I fully expect for there to be minor updates to the graphics. When I say minor, I mean things like particle density.
You mean like Wrath era?
I mean like shadow, shadowing, that kind of thing. But I also want to see, are they going to have a toggle in effect that would essentially give you the option to have full classic graphics.
So back to like really, really classic,
right? Because there's something that I really like. I wouldn't mind the particle density, all that kind of things, to be a little bit, sharper, for shadows to be a little bit sharper. But something that I think is really classic-esque and very, essential to classic is to have that fog in the air. I don't want to be able to stand on top of Ironforge on the hill and be able to see Blackrock Mountain. That's something that came later in WoW, and I think made the world feel smaller in a way. This is just me, so I want to make sure that the view distance isn't insane, and if it is, hopefully they have a toggle to be able to make it look, because I think for me that made the world feel a lot more ominous. It made it feel more mysterious. It's just something that I'm going to be looking at, okay? So when I log on, how far can I see into the distance? And is that something that I can change, in effect, to go back? Also, I'm interested to see what, if any, add-ons will be working with the demo. I'm sure probably, who knows? I don't know, so that's something I would like to see.
Well, I think it's going to be integrated into the Battle.net client, so I'm not sure how you're going to be able to even add add-ons.
Well, you would just have to do it manually, I guess. So the way you could.
Yeah, I guess it would be downloaded locally somewhere in your hard drive that you can be able to maybe go into the interface folder, possibly.
So, yeah.
We could try to put some of the old add-ons in there and see if it works. That's true. I think the API is going to be totally different, though.
Right. So, I mean, that's just a question. That's one thing that I want to look at. I also want to look at, okay, so we're going to see what classes we're going to have available. I would love to be able to play Priest at the start and Rogue, at least. Those are the two classes that I predominantly play in vanilla, is Priest and Rogue. And Paladin, if I decide to go roll a... So I want to see what the what the animations are like, the swing timers. There's so many things I want to feel. Guys, I'm someone who's played a lot on private servers. I'm currently raiding on private servers. I want to see what the differences are. You know what I mean? I want to feel. And one thing that I'm really, really, really excited for is low ping. Oh my god, I cannot wait for low ping.
Yeah, definitely.
So
yeah, that's gonna be
I never played on, it's been so long that I've actually played where I didn't have low ping in like a classic type environment.
So that's going to be important. What else do we have? We have pathing. That's the thing that's we can test. I'm assuming it's going to be wonderful.
You got to let me know if you charge and fall through the map.
Oh yeah, I heavily doubt that. We aren't going to have any issues like that.
Yeah.
Once you hit level 10, that'll kind of tell us. We're assuming since they're starting at 1.12.1 as their foundation, we're also assuming that the talent tree is going to be 1.12.
Well, we want to make sure that there are some things in the even in private servers 1.12.1, say like certain rogue towns where they're broken on private servers, where they're not actually the right coefficients or the right numbers on private servers. So I want to see the difference of things like that. Like I forget which talent it is. The rogues, you have like a 0 point whatever chance or to add combo points or this, that, and the other thing. Want to make sure all those numbers, all those coefficients are the same. And if the ones that were not working properly on the private servers, I want to see what they are going to be on this demo. So there's so much information.
Because you're probably going to be able to put like 1 or 2 talent points in,
right, but so that's why I'm really looking forward to hopefully maybe like having someone on, like Taladriller, who can help me with all these different things, because I don't know what really to be looking at.
I want to see if, like, as a shaman's perspective, I want to see if like totems are placed wonkily, if they're like sitting on top of like inside rocks like they used to see on private servers.
Oh yeah.
I want to see if like I want to see if Flame Tongue kind of scales with weapon speed, all these kind of things that Oh yeah, I won't be able to test Storm Strike, but I'm wondering if Storm Strike, if you don't know, in private servers on Northdale works totally wrong. So basically, when you hit Storm Strike, you get 2 charges of it to increase your next 2 nature spell effects damage by 20%. The problem is, if your lightning shield orb gets hit, it doesn't remove the stacks. So you can have a lot more nature damage with Storm Strike on a private server. So again, we won't be able to test that. But
yeah, there's a lot of broken, wonky stuff on private servers that apparently it's not supposed to work. Because I honestly don't remember, and I only played two classes in Classic, 1 primarily, so I didn't know too much about the other classes. So a lot of the other stuff is just hearsay information that I got from private servers. Oh, this is wrong, that's wrong. One thing I wish I could do is test some of the raids, but of course we won't be able to do that. Things like Ani, because we all know that, with the whole thing about Ani not being right.
I'm wondering if Dortar is the starting zone, and if we're able to grind and get to level
RFC.
13, we'll be able to get an RFC.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I would. That would be one of the first things I want to do. Get my guy up to level 13, run RFC, and just see. I want to have a play-by-play, record it on our alts, and just see. Yeah. You never know. I mean,
you never know.
If anything, they should have 1 or 2 dungeons up, 1 for the Alliance, 1 for the Horde. I would think that would be part of the demo, to have at least 1 dungeon up.
Well, then how would they have it? If Elwyn, they wouldn't have Westfall open. They wouldn't be able to get to the Dead Mines.
Well, maybe they can. Stockades is a higher level, so that's
2 high levels, like level 25.
Maybe somehow they can have them port to RFC and also do RFC. I don't know. That's something
that would be fun.
Yeah, maybe just like for the demo, have like something where they can
RFC,
port to RFC or something like that.
Yep.
So
I think that would be interesting.
Otherwise, I think a lot more people would be rolling Horde to be able to do.
You know how they do the demo accounts? If you want to play WoW for free, they stop you at level 20.
Right.
I'm sure they'll do something similar for this. Maybe they'll stop you at level 15, so you can't gain any more XP.
Well, so we're gonna have about a week of access to the demo.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time for people to get to a high enough level. So I'm sure there is going to be a cap at a relatively low level.
Or analyze every class too. That's going to a lot of time for people to analyze every
class.
Well,
that's exactly what I'm going to do the classes that I care about most first. And guys, give you information right now. I completely plan on streaming this as much as possible. So that week is going to be a pretty intense week for Melderon and I. So why don't you tell them about that?
Yeah, so I'm also defending my thesis the same week that this comes out, which is the most horrible timing of all time. So if you don't know, I'm defending my PhD thesis that on November 6th. So DefCamp's going to be trying to pull as much as he can out of his butt. He's going to be helped with people like, we have some patrons that are going to help us set up the streaming.
Going to be trying to work with Taladril,
an aspiring musician.
Aspiring musician. I don't know if they're going to. just to have them kind of as guests while I'm doing a stream, and you know, have them ask me questions so I can kind of answer some questions for them. But yeah, so this is what we're planning on doing for the demo. I will most likely be in Kansas with Melderon, so I'm probably going to either bring my laptop or play on his computer. So yeah, it's going to be a little rough, but we're going to get it done. Absolutely, we're going to be there.
Yeah,
you
probably shouldn't even bought the ticket too, because you're going to be here anyway.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that. So yeah, I pretty much gave Blizzard $50. I didn't even have to. Oh well, you know what, guys? Use it.
Yeah.
Well spent. Put that money towards making Classic as good as it can be.
Yeah. So the two more behind the scene things I think we need to talk about are, one are macros, because if you remember, are we going to be using the macros systems that are in WoW now, where it's much easier to create macros?
Yeah, backslash, back. Basically, the macro that we all use if you're a warrior, if you're a rogue, to so if you have no energy or no rage, you want to be able to start, on a new target, white hitting without having to hit the attack button, and you usually macro that to an ability like Heroic Strike, Sinister Strike. But
and the macro for that is huge.
It's huge, but in new WoW, it's literally 2 lines of scripting. But in vanilla WoW, it's like what, 6 or 7 lines of code? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's one long friggin' line. It's not. It's more. It's actually just a line or two.
Oh, okay, but it's a lot longer. Yeah, it's like, do this if, or this isn't up, then do this, or do this.
Are those new macros going to be available? That's going to be an interesting.
I would say so, because they're doing it on the newer.
Yes, I agree.
So I would say yes, but that's that's some things.
What does that mean? Does that mean
we're gonna have to get some new information about that? So yeah, I mean, things like that macro right there, I'm pretty sure I do know how to code it on the newer version. It's going to be different, but yeah, that's something that I would love to see, some information about as soon as this goes up. Okay, let's get this information out. Here are the macros, guys. Here's this, and these are things that we're going to be working on as well with some other content creators to help us. So people like Cargos, people like Taladrill, we're going to try to be working together on this and see how much information we can, because with the more of us working together, the better we can come to get this information. I think.
Another thing to look out for, guys, and that's something Alex Edgel brought up in one of his videos, and it's very important. If you notice in new retail WoW, whatever current WoW, in the bottom mini map, in the mini menu, excuse me, not the mini map, in the mini menu, there's a shop icon. Will that shop icon be there?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
And that's something that we really have to be concerned about. If you're a purist like us, if you don't want to shop, if you might be laughing at us right now if you think, Activision.
I would much rather just see it in the launcher. You know what I mean? Like I would not want to see it in game. Yeah. That would just take me out of the what's the word I always bring up? The
immersion.
Immersion, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not only that, but it means people are gonna be running around with like spectral tigers and shit in vanilla, which is not.
Oh yeah. No.
We don't want people. It's totally immersion breaking. And I'm not saying retail's a bad game, but when you're like questing with someone that's running around with a mount that you've never seen before. Yeah, they just change mounts every 5 seconds. It's super immersion breaking.
Oh yeah,
people are mount collectors, and that's fine.
Well, I think in vanilla, like being a mount collector, like there's only so many mounts you can get, but they're very hard to get.
Yeah,
I don't know how many times I've ran Undead Strat and have still not seen Baron Rivendell's mount drop.
Yeah, I agree.
It's one of those things that when you have that mount, just that 1 or 2 mounts that's like really hard to obtain. Wow, the amount of prestige you get from that. It's like you might have 500 mounts on retail, but if you have 2 really rare mounts in vanilla, man, whew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else we can look out for. We can look out
there's so
UI.
much.
The UI is going to be the same.
UI hopefully will be the same.
You know what would be interesting? You know that little battle UI they put in retail now that's below your character that has your health and mana?
It
only happens when you're in combat. It's
I doubt that will be in there. So, I mean, this is all speculation, right? But I'm
I think that might
100% pretty safe with saying that there's going to be a lot of things different from retail. They're going to make it as much classic as they can be, whether that's UI, whether that's shop icon, things like that.
It hasn't changed much.
No, actually, it changed a lot in BFA.
Really?
They did a whole different swap with the where the bars are and stuff in BFA.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so they actually did big change to the UI in BFA. But that's another one of those things that you bring up, Phil. What better way to differentiate BFA to Classic to have? Okay, BFA's got that new UI set up. Classic has the Classic UI set up.
That's true.
What better way to differentiate?
So let's move on to something I wanted to talk about as well. We're not going to tackle the leaks yet. We'll get there. But what I want to talk about now is, so you got vlogs. In that vlog that I put up, vlog number 13, I asked for your feedback, and the overwhelming majority, 95% of you, want either a release date or a beta release date. I think with this demo's release, either one of those things are extremely likely now.
At BlizzCon?
Yes.
Okay.
I
think I think that we might have a release date at BlizzCon. I'm not 100%. I like to think, Blizz likes the idea of having that 15-year anniversary thing, but maybe the way that New Blizzard is, I think they might shy away from that. I think that when people are saying they're going to try to get this out as quick as possible, I think they might be right. I was really pretty strong on November 2019 because, of course, that would be the 15-year anniversary. It just made sense to me. It's okay. It's not that far away. Honestly, it's not. It's a year from now, about a year and a month. But a lot of people, especially with this leak now, have been speculating Q1 of 2019, correct?
No, Q2.
Q2, which is only, 6 months away.
Yeah, I think that's likely, honestly, dude. I really do. I think that we're going to get this game in April or June, just like the leak. Not because the leak said it, because if you look back at our Dev Talks or our discussions, I called Q2 6 months ago. Q2 2019.
Yeah,
so
you did.
I think that
I've been a little bit more hesitant saying around November of 2019 So I'm gonna just stick with that.
I think you want this idyllic release.
I do. You know what? I think Blizzard, old Blizzard, might have thought more that way, but Activision Blizzard maybe doesn't think that way anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, I think we're gonna get it. I think it's gonna be an open beta. I think that we're gonna get an open beta announcement, and we're gonna get a projected release date. I think we're going to get somewhere in Q2. Maybe not an exact date, but I think you're going to shoot for somewhere in Q2 2019, possibly Q3. But I don't think they're going to wait a full year. I really do not think they're going to wait a full year, man. I think that they know this is going to be a cash cow, and I think if you count Classic and BFA together, I think we're gonna see numbers past the Wrath days.
Oh yeah, I think so as well.
Absolutely,
I do. Now here's a question. Okay. Anyone who has bought the virtual ticket, do they automatically get beta access? I think that would be fair.
Well, that hasn't been. I'm not saying no because they're not. I'm saying no because no one knows yet.
Right. I'm just saying. Do you think that would be something they might do?
I think they're going to make it open to everyone.
Right, but you have to be invited to the beta. I mean, the way most betas work.
Yeah. Is that the definition of an open beta?
Well, an open beta, no. An open beta is basically anybody can download.
No, I'm thinking it's going to be an open beta.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
Do I think that if they were to do an invite-only beta, they should roll in the people that bought the ticket? Yes. That would be...
Right. Or maybe an early access for those people.
Yeah.
Like an alpha, maybe.
And I think, people who have active subscriptions, like you, not me, but I think people who do should get also access to the open beta as well.
Well, that goes to beg the question, what about these people who... Yeah, maybe they have not had an account with Blizzard right now, but they are just as much a fan of Classic, if not more.
That's why I think it's going to be an open beta. That's why. Because
there's so many people who are not currently paying for WoW, but are going to come back, so they know that those people would better way to draw them in by letting them play the beta and then having them give their subscription, their money to Blizzard once again for Classic.
I agree, and I think that... Classic Azeroth just put out a new video. Guys, if you don't know who Classic Azeroth is, they're a smaller channel, but they're friends of ours, and you should check them out. They're really putting out some good content.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's a lot of really good... I'm going to say something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of really good content creators coming out, either newer or working their way into the Classic genre. I think a lot of people see the few the main ones and see, okay, these are the main, but there are a lot of smaller channels working their way up doing a really good work. One of them is the Lucky Dudes,
Shinies and Lucky
Dudes, 3 insanely intelligent women who know a lot about WoW, all of WoW, lore, all of these different things, classic Azeroth, just so many people who are really passionate about WoW. People like Taladrill, who have so much information. And as things move forward, I would really like to see those people starting to take a bigger state,
bigger place on the stage.
Place on the stage, exactly.
Yeah.
And I really think it's well deserved because there's a lot of really good content creators out there. And one thing that scares me a little bit, and this is nothing against those retail people, or but one thing that scares me a little bit is that some of these people who don't know too much about Classic are going to try to maybe jump on this, Classic coming out. We got guys who are, pretty much all retail who are going to be trying to make, videos on this and that. And, that's great, do it. But don't forget about these people who have been, doing this for, a while, or just trying to work their way up. I don't know. It's just something that I like to think about. There's a lot of really good classic content creators out there.
Something to think about in the future. And I think that the classic community needs to. I'm not going to. This is going to sound so screwed up. I don't want you to preferentially watch people who have been doing something before the launch. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
However, what I am saying is that a lot of us, and not just us included, you know who we're talking about. I mean, all the classic WoW guy. If you're listening to this podcast or this watching this on YouTube, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Tips and Esvan. I'm talking about us and Cargos and I mean the list goes on. If I'm forgetting anybody, I'm sorry.
Orcbit, Hamster Wheel, all
these guys that just don't forget us guys, because we are the ones that are trying to produce this stuff for you and for the community. That's all I'll say on that. I don't want to get into that anymore because I don't want it to sound like I'm.
No, I know what you mean. It's kind of like how because there are like a lot of bigger people, and don't get me wrong, a lot of them have every right as anyone else does to make content, but it's like it's opening up all these different doors for when Classic comes out, and it's like, wow, where does each person stand? And that's why I think it's such a great idea for content creators to come together with things like this. That's why we're trying to work with some other content creators on certain things, because there's so much that we could do if we work together to bring the community what I think they deserve when it comes to information, when it comes to quality content, that kind of thing. So that's something to actually look out in the future, guys. We're going to be working with some other content creators.
Yep, so definitely look out for that. Also, so let's go back to BlizzCon. So we know I think as so many of you have written on Reddit and YouTube that we're going to have at least a beta announcement or a release date coming on BlizzCon. But we also have a panel, guys. We have a dedicated panel to Classic WoW. What do you think we're going to be talking about here? I think it's going to be kind of ironing out all the questions that we've had in a long time.
God, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Are we going to patch? Are we, do we have any kind of patch progression? Will we have Maraudon at launch? Will we have Battlegrounds at launch? Will we have Dire Maw at launch? Will we have, there's so much we can cover. Will there be expansions? I think this is the panel.
They might as well call it a debate and not a panel, because this is going to get heated.
Yeah, it's going to get heated. I think so as well.
Honestly, like lately, I have when I hear people talk about just like little things like this in Guild, like I feel like I've spent so much energy talking about these things that I'm like, man, I have to save my energy for when it comes to because when it comes to this panel, this may be the time where our voices are the most important.
Yes,
because
I agree. Mark Curran's Constitution comes to mind here.
Yes, absolutely. I think there should be some kind of constitution drawn where people who not only I'm not even talking about content creators here. I'm talking about the classic community has to come together as a whole and kind of make something where we can kind of all agree on. I know it's hard. I know it's really hard. But at its core, I think we all want Classic to be as much Classic as it can. And then for other people, that means different things because everyone had different experiences, right? But I think we're going to have to, here, when it comes to this panel, if that is what it is, try to meet each other in the middle as much as we can.
Yeah, I think it's more going to be this is what we're doing and why.
You don't think it's going to be?
I don't think it's going to be an open forum. No, I think it's going to be like you can express your concerns, yes, but this is our reasoning behind deciding to do this. I don't think it's going to be an open thing like, because I think they're way more farther done than people think. So I think they're at the point now where they're about to they're going to release beta in like two months after BlizzCon, I think, 2 to 3, maybe less than that. So I don't think this is going to be one of those things where, what do you guys want us to do? No, I think that they have a very good idea of what they need to do. But at the same time, it is a good time for reinforcement of our
that's what
here.
I think as well. And I do want to say that given these recent leaks, if they are, I'll be the first one to tell you, a leak is just that. It's information that you should definitely not put too much. It's hearsay. But I will just put out there that some of the information that I have heard from people in my dealings on private servers, from people who have also given me very, very similar information to what the leak was. I don't know if it came from the same person and got to me, but whatever. It was all hearsay. People say this, people say this. But I will say that I heard... You're
saying that everything is corroborating, basically.
Right. What I heard pretty much a month earlier, but I didn't want to come out and say anything, first of all, because the person who told me I would never do that to them without their okay, and also because it is just hearsay. But what I have heard is very similar to what these leaks are saying. So, with that...
So there's no variation in the commotion that's been happening, is what you're saying. So all the commotion that you've heard from people all over the place, private servers, YouTube, whatever, Reddit, and then Discord, it all corroborates, is what you're saying.
Basically, yes, to a very fine point. I mean, there is almost nothing different from what I've heard. Now, in that leak, we have heard that there are people from Nost, right?
2 people from Nost on the 17-man team. Apparently.
That gives me pretty good, a pretty good feeling. That
it does as well. Yeah.
Because, first of all, these people from Nost, hopefully there are the people that, these guys have so much to do with us getting Classic. They have done so much. Thank God that Blizzard opened the door, if they did, to these people. Even if they didn't, these people are still a great resource. They're heroes in my eyes. So if this is true, that does settle my my agita a little bit.
Yeah, agita, if you don't know, it means heartburn. So basically, let's go real quick. The link will be, first of all, there'll be 2 links in the description. A link to the BlizzCon open ticket if you want to buy it for the beta. Sorry, for the BlizzCon for the
virtual
demo.
ticket, right?
The virtual ticket, and there will be a link to this this supposed leak. So let's go over this real quick. I was going to read real quick, and then we'll go through it. Okay. Classic WoW is in a pre-alpha state. Mostly all quests are done. They are working on Dungeons and Battlegrounds. 17 devs are working on the game. 2 former NOS devs are assuring authenticity. Doesn't mean they're actually working on it. They're just overviewing it. Okay. They don't think there will be a long beta phase. Only changes: improved textures and spell effects, but still using the old models. Improved view distance and colorblind mode. Battle.net will have some restriction on PvP servers. Let's stop there. Let's stop on those first 4.
So the improved view distance, when I hear that, it kind of makes me, because I am one of those people.
That's the only change, man.
Right.
That's not bad.
But I understand that, but I really hope that there is a way that we can, I don't know what it is about that. It's just something that I really feel like is so Classic to its core, is to have that haze in the sky that you can't see past. I don't know.
I know. Dude, I totally agree with what you're saying. I'm not arguing that point.
But colorblind mode, definitely saw that coming. Yeah, I know. It's just that kind of is one of the things that I hope really that might not make it. It's just me. No in-game shop at the start. Now okay.
Let's go over these 4 points.
I'm sorry.
Classic WoW's in a pre-alpha state. Most likely all quests. Most of all quests are done. They are still working on Battlegrounds and Dungeons. That makes total sense to me. They wouldn't release a demo if they didn't have most of the world finished, the outside world finished. And that's why I think that RFC won't be available, unfortunately. But I do think that once they iron out the Dungeons BGs, and I'm guessing they won't put out the Rage yet, right? Because MC launched with the game, right? And then so did Ani. Yes. But they have time to get it finished up, I think.
Yeah, so absolutely.
That's a good thing. Okay. 17 devs working on the game, 2 former NOS devs assuring authenticity. Again, it doesn't mean they're actually working on the game, but it means they're sitting there and reading over everything and saying,
basically
this is wrong,
an advisor.
This is wrong.
Yeah.
They don't think there'll be a long beta phase. Of course
And
not.
17,
really
I want to say 17 devs. It was a lot more than I initially thought.
Because didn't everybody say there was 4 or 5 people
on the core team? That was the So guys, right here, that initial leak is kind of contradicting this. So, I mean, but that could have been at the time there was only 4, and now there's 17. So who knows?
Yeah, they could have subcontracted some people out too. You never know how that works.
Which
you know what I mean?
I've heard that. Yeah, that's
So they don't think there'll be a long beta phase. Again, that makes sense because it's a game that's already finished, technically finished.
Okay,
so you really don't have a long. You don't have to have a long testing phase. Oh yeah, and we talked about the only changes. So we did that, right? So so that your only issue is the improved view.
Well, so I also want to go. But yeah. So so improved textures and spell effects, but using the old mod. So improved spell effects is, I'm hoping it's still like Mind Flay still looks like it did, and Frostball,
not like it doesn't read.
Right, but it's like the particle density is a little bit better, that kind of thing.
Yes, you don't want charge to look like it doesn't. Like you charge up to the guy, hit him with your shoulder, like you do.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I think that they're getting at here. Yeah. And remember, guys, this is all hearsay. All of this.
Yes,
okay?
all this is
improved view distance and colorblind mode. Right. And
then that just makes the colorblind mode obviously accessible for people. That's just retarded if you don't.
And then
improved view distance is the one you have a problem with, and I agree. It does make the world smaller, but let's see how it looks. If this is true, right?
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about it, and it's So the
All
Battle.net will have some restrictions on PvP servers. So I think
this is huge if it's true.
Yeah.
Because as you know, back in the day, you couldn't make Horde and Alliance on the same server.
Yep.
And that's going to heavily restrict cross-faction communications. But everyone's going to be like, oh, Jeff can't Melderon. It happened before, bro. Yeah, I know it happens. I know it happened before.
I love that argument. It happened. Yeah. If you want to talk to somebody, you can. Of course. But the lengths you had to go to stopped a lot of people from doing it. I never went and said, I'm going to download this and do this so I can talk shit to this other guy.
I'm going to buy another account so I can have an alliance on
okay? And those of you who are not aware, on current WoW, you can right-click someone of the opposing faction, hit add to battle.net, whatever, and you can actually talk to them cross-faction. Of course, that was not possible back in vanilla. So this is what they're saying, that it will have some restrictions on PvP servers. Hopefully that is what they're regarding. And again, this is just a leak, but this is what they're saying in here. So
yeah, we are not asinine to the point where we didn't we're not like these like doe-eyed people that are like, oh, it's so beautiful back in the day. No one talked to each other across faction. We know that it happens, guys. We know that it happened. We're not that bad. Trust me, we're not that gullible and whatever. But that's just all right. Let's go to the next 4 points, or let's just finish it up. So
8 servers per region, 4 PvP, 2 PvE, 1 RP PvP, and 1 RP PvE.
Now, does region mean like northeast, like east, central?
No, mountain? I think region means like oceanic, Asia.
North America.
That's what I hear. When I hear region, that's what I think. But that sounds small for each region, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So maybe it is, but
I think with the new phasing the new technology they have they can pump out, they can do this, they can pump servers out pretty quick.
Whoa, what do you mean by that? Oh, you mean pump out new servers if they need to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we don't have any information here about how big the servers are going to be. We don't know any. It has none of that here. So
we don't have population size. Yeah.
Right.
To me, that would be a huge thing to leak. Like if some guy was like, hey, I got some, like a rogue, like came out of stealth and I was in a dark alleyway and was like, hey, I got some Blizzard information for you, bro. I'd be like, okay, what were the population size?
Yeah.
Caps. Like that would be like one of my first questions.
Well, maybe they haven't decided that yet. But also, again, this is just a friggin' leak. Yeah.
Yeah. No in-game shop at the start. What is at the why? Wait.
Why do they have to? Why do they put at the start there? Like, what does that mean? What does it mean?
What does it mean? We didn't listen. I don't know what. what would you add to it? Like, I don't understand. Like, why would you? Why are you just putting it out to appease us?
I don't know, but
And then,
maybe
like, later on,
they're
once
saying
we've
like
had
the
our
no
fix-
in-game shop at the start, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, that right there, that wording like triggers me, honestly.
It just makes me think like, oh, let's give the junkies their fix, and then we'll slide in this like.
Yeah, okay, boys. You want to
Yeah.
get your you want to get your
Cerulean
Thunder Flurry?
Tiger?
Here you go.
Yeah.
Pay us $500.
Yeah, you always wanted a Cerulean Tiger. Here you go. Here's one for
Now the next
$49.99.
one, I want to real quick. I know that's really again. I don't want to give it too. I don't want to give each thing too much because again, this is just a leak. But yeah, no in-game
But
shop
let's talk
to
about the
start.
implications if true. Let's talk about the implications if they're true, right?
What kind of shop are they talking about? It could just be a vanity shop. It could be
Pets and mounts.
right now, as we know, there were not that many pets in vanilla. You had things like your spiderlings, your cockroach, your parrot. There's not that many pets in vanilla. You know, you would have to hopefully stick to those pets, but a lot of them can be made in game. You know, engineering. You can make the squirrel, things like that. So
and you can sell like the parrot pets from Dead Minds on the AH. You know, stuff like
the
that.
only thing that I would be okay with is to maybe allow in purchase for a server change, for a transfer.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
That is the only thing I think should be bought in regards to Classic. Personally.
Maybe that's what they mean. Maybe that's what they mean. Well, they won't have it at the start.
Maybe that's what I'm hoping. Yeah. But then again, that's pretty much wishful thinking.
In the Classic timeline, what the hell was available? I don't really remember. So server transfers were available at the end of near the middle or end of vanilla.
And that's pretty much it.
That's it, right? That's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So maybe that's what they mean. And maybe that's what they're saying at the start. Maybe they're trying to say about the same thing, like
possibly.
Hopefully.
Why would you offer it right at the beginning? Because everyone's level 1. Who wants to transfer?
Exactly.
Level 10, you know?
So let's move to the next one because I don't want to give that too much.
Okay, sub will be included in retail WoW, or you can pay less for Classic only.
This is exactly, huge. If this is true, this is exactly what I thought earlier. Did I not say, Phil? It was like it's either going to be included in the retail or you pay less, like something like you pay $5 or whatever just for Class. $7.50.
Half the price. Yeah.
I think this is the most logical way. I think this is the most fair way, honestly, for them to do it with still making some money.
So let me ask you this: what do you think the price is going to be for the Classic only? What's your guess?
I'm going to say either half or a quarter. I'm going to say $5 to like $10, somewhere in that range.
Okay. Yeah, if you're going to pay 10, you're going to pay an extra 5 for. Yeah, I think it's going to be somewhere in the magical range of 5 to 8. I think.
Now, do you think they might say, "Oh, we're just putting the retail up $2 now" or something like that? No.
They might increase. No, they won't do that. No.
See, I'm really interested though because
people off that are already pissed off at BFA, dude.
Yeah, true.
That's not.
I'm
smart.
Really, I really did think that the sub would be included in the retail WoW, but it kind of surprises me in a way. I thought that was the most logical thing, but it really, when you think about it, they're not. So they're only really getting money from people that are not subs now. So someone who's already subbed, they're going to be getting no money from, essentially.
Yeah.
Only hopefully they would keep their subs because now they can play 2 different games.
Yeah, I think the biggest reason why they had to introduce this is because how long have people been playing on private servers? Okay, for a very, very long time, possibly since BC. Okay.
Well, more so from NOS onwards.
Sure. Okay, but what I'm saying is they've been around for a very long time.
Yes. Yeah.
How can you make it attractive to a person that pays nothing right now?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why you have to have 2 price tiers because it looks a little bit more polished and it's cleaner, and you have amazing Blizzard support, and people are going to pay a few bucks for that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But they're not going to pay $15 if they can play it for free.
Honestly,
that's why I think
$7.99 is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's got to be somewhere in that range.
Again, guys, these are all just leaks. I want to keep saying that.
We can still talk about the implications of
Right. No, I just want to bring that up every time. So,
All right, launch about April to June 2019. That's Q2, and I think that's definitely feasible.
Yeah,
I don't think that's out. That's not far fetched at all.
According to the timeline that we're going on right now, since we have a working demo that's going to be coming out in less than a month, that does sound feasible. I personally, think that it could be around there or a little bit later, but I definitely think 2019, absolutely.
So, the next point is, this is very important because people are going to say, no duh. There will be an announcement and gameplay at BlizzCon. The reason why this is so important, guys, is because this was released 2 days before the virtual ticket announcement. But you're going to say, Melderon, the Reddit post is only from a day ago. If you look at the Reddit post, there's a link to the about.net forums.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you click on that link, let's see if it's still open, if Blizzard didn't shut it down. Mine's is still loading. Is yours working? Oh, it's in German. Yep. So it's okay. So it's from the German the German website. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is from my Chrome just auto translated it.
Mine did not, but yeah.
Yeah, mine's
so this is from Vor 6 Tagen.
Okay, here we go.
That's the Easter.
Oh yeah, Tagen is days, so 6 days ago. Okay, so okay.
Well, that is that. So 19th September is the first one that I see.
September 24th, 2018.
Oh, okay.
Wait, where's the? Okay, we're on page 3. Let's go to page 1.
Well, page 3 is when the leak apparently came, I think, right?
Oh, is it from page 1?
Yeah.
Is it from page 3? Okay, let's go in there. 1 second. Let me use my horrible German.
Das ist auch beste Month.
Here it is. I got it. Okay. It was originally posted on September 24th, 2018 at 4:10 p.m. German time. Okay, so that's when was the announcement? When did I put up that video?
That was 4 days ago, right?
Yep. So this is 2 days prior to the playable Classic Vault demo announcement. So that's why this has credibility. It's in German. The German translation is below on the Reddit post, guys. If you want to actually read the German translation, it's not going to be perfect because it's when you translate German to English, it's not perfect.
I learned from a reliable source that the pre-alpha build is already in place and Zone's quest already in the final stage, only at the instant. Okay. So so basically, I love this. Blizzard ist aus Marketingtechnischen.
Why are you making fun of Germans?
Grundenwanders. Their words are so long. Standard Bexing. This is all one word. Standard Art Bezing Shang Abing Wanken.
Dude, you gotta get used to it. I'm moving there, dude. You gotta get used to it.
I know. Yeah, I love how Germans, like, to make new words, they just put words together. They literally put like 4 words together, and that equals a new word. They're just like marking Tinching Scheisen. Grunden von Starschen Schinken Schnorgen Nagen Vegan.
All right. It's enough making fun of the Europeans. All right. So sorry if anybody is offended by that. Anyway, but
oh, come on, it's just a
I'm moving there anyway. So
yeah.
Anyway, so
you're allowed to make fun of them, right?
Yeah, I'm allowed to make fun of them. I've been around them long enough. Okay, so okay, so that's basically, guys. That's why it says there will be an announcement and gameplay at BlizzCon. It's because it was actually 2 days before the announcement.
So that gives it some a little bit of credibility. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the leaks as total. Let's look at it in whole. Some pretty substantial stuff here. One of which is kind of verified because it was 2 days before. So yeah, does this have some merit? I would say possibly. But I would say that probably everything in here is, even if everything is something that he got leaked, all this is could change from the release. So even though this could be a leak, right? Everything here could change from when we actually get the Classic. So even if it is corroborated 100%, it still could be wrong. In a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So guys, just take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited about it as I am right now, because I'm excited about it.
Everything here is pretty good, except for like there's literally like a couple things that I'm like, there's the shop, the view distance, but when you look at a whole, I'm willing to give in a little bit to be able to work. I'm willing to give a little. You know what I mean? I'll meet them
I think we
halfway.
have to give a little, man. It's 15 years later. We have to give in a little.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people need to realize. If you thought you were going to get an exact replica of what's on private servers, I'm sorry, but
or an example replica of what Classic was,
Well, yes, absolutely. Technology alone forbids that. But,
really can't. Yeah.
Why would Blizzard produce something that's literally available already? In their eyes, is a pirated version.
I mean,
of
listen.
their game.
Even if Blizzard offered an exact copy of what I'm playing right now, I would literally play that over the private server, just because, number one, it's Blizzard, and I know that it has
certain quality attached to that.
Right. Not only that, but even if it was 100% replica of what I'm playing now on private servers, it's from Blizzard. I'm willing to they at least did it. They answered our call, and it's almost like working at a company where you have some longevity because it's Blizzard. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry about the server shutting down. I don't have to worry about these things. It's from Blizzard. So even if it was just that, I would still pay however much to play.
And I would pay just to support the project, number one, of supporting my favorite game of all time being brought back, and supporting Classic almost ensures its longevity and possibly the release of Burning Crusade and Wrath.
Yes.
So you have to think about that too. If you're a fan of either of those expansions, say you hated Classic, but you loved the Burning Crusade. Say you hated the Burning Crusade, but you loved Wrath. You're putting an investment into those expansions in my eyes, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think pretty much. I mean, look at it this way, right? With all and everything that we get, with the success of Classic, the success of all these things, and that kind of goes into my next point we're going to talk about. But when you look at what Classic is to how many people, and to what it is to Blizzard, the success of that, I think it just shows that this is so much more than a game to so many people. It really is. I mean, it's everything that I have wanted in a game, and it's everything that I've been wanting so long. It's so many years I've put into trying to find a different game, find a new game, but finally we get the answer. Classic coming back. We get to do that, and I think there's this really big, almost thing happening where older games are getting rehashed, and kind of we look and see this game was really the best, when you look at Diablo 2 and all these other games, and I think Blizzard is realizing that you really can't compete with some of these games that are like so epic and just so amazing, that the best you can do is just offer it to people, a little bit newer and shinier, and say, here it is. Here's the game we all know you love, and we're not going to try and top it, because this is, don't get me wrong. I would love to see a new MMO come out eventually. That's, a whole new different thing. But when it comes to WoW, when it comes to like Blizzard's like, prime games, it's like looking at a classic movie, like a Kubrick movie, and saying, okay, is there going to be anything better than this? Maybe, but it'll be different, but it's still amazing. And people want to be able to play those games that are amazing, and play it in a way that they can be modern today, and with their friends, and do everything they wanted to do. So I don't know what I was saying there, but basically just
no, I think it's just what you're saying is it's important to have emulation, because it's important to preserve history. So like why when they redid certain games, like when they redo Final Fantasy VII and make it like that action-oriented game, we can still go back and play Final Fantasy VII. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why it's important to have. We don't have that in Warcraft right now. We don't have that. So that's why it's important to do this. And that's going back to like episode 1 of Vanilla WoW discussion, right? That's going back to this stuff. Think about that. We're 10 episodes in, dude. Our first episode, we just got the announcement. We had no idea what we're going to get. We had no idea. We had none. We had no idea what this was going to look like. If we were even going to be successful.
Yeah.
And now we're about a month away from a friggin' playable demo.
I know, it's crazy.
It's and I'll have to say, I mean, this may not be true, but I think the community has a lot to do with this success.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely the community has to do with the launch announcement, right?
Yeah.
But I like to think that the community also has a lot to do with making sure we want to keep vanilla as much as possible.
Yeah. I mean, people like, and a lot of the content creators have done an amazing job. People like Tips, people, just so many people out there who have done a really good job of kind of understanding the community and kind of portraying that to Blizzard and kind of putting that in words so that, what we try to do is get, whether it's on our DefTalks, whether it's on our whatever shows, get the community, get the other people involved, and try to get one universal message as much as we can, and have that message heard, by whoever, whether it's Blizzard, whether it's other people from the outside, from retail, looking in and seeing, okay, what is this all about? And I think we've done a pretty good job. Yeah, has there been some toxicity here and there? Of course. I mean, that's with anything. There's going to be some negative, there's going to be some positive. But I think when you look at the whole picture, everyone, the community, the content creators have done an amazing job at saying, Blizzard, we are passionate about this. We love this. Please take care of it. And this is what we want, and this is what we need. Let's try to get that. And I think everyone has done an amazing job at putting that into words and putting that into action. And I think everybody should give themselves a little pat on the backs. You know what I mean?
Well said. Yeah, I definitely think that's truth. And thanks for taking this ride with us, guys. It's been a, and we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Like I said, like we said on the first episode, this is a win, but the war's not over. We said that in the first episode of Melderon discussion.
You know what I want to talk about real quick, but you're right. And the very first episode of discussion, it's kind of hard. It's kind of not hard, but it's amazing to think where we are now. At a month away from a demo of Classic. It's amazing. But so we've heard some other things about what's going to be talked at BlizzCon, things like that. I've heard some things thrown around like a remastered Diablo 2. I've heard some other things. Now
Diablo 4. I've heard everything from Diablo 4 to remastered games to.
Now I'm going to ask you, Melderon, why is it okay? Now I think this too. Like Diablo 2 was one of the best games ever made. But why is it okay to remaster Diablo 2 and not
because
WoW?
the old one's still available.
Yes, that as well, right? But I also think Diablo 2 is a different kind of game. You know what I mean? It's in Warcraft, the world is a character. You know what I mean? In WoW,
yeah, I agree. Are you trying to say that in Diablo it's not?
No. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not at all. I'm just saying that in WoW, probably the biggest character in the game that you interact with is the world itself.
It's the first word of the game, World of Warcraft.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think to change that world, like they did in Cataclysm, it was a huge undertaking, and it was something that, had a lot of people not liking it, a lot of people, because you're literally changing the biggest thing that you interact with, the world, and you're doing that, had a lot of people dislike it and it changed, but a lot of people missed that old world. They missed, what they grew up with and what they had that experience with, and people who never got to try it. So I think that is so much one of the reasons why when Classic was made, so many people wanted that old world the way it was, because they fell in love with it, And I think to change that, it's already been done. You know what I mean? Because they did it with. And the thing about WoW, it's a game that's been going on for so long. You know what I mean? WoW.
You just made a really good point.
WoW has been going on this whole time, right? So the world has changed. So the remastered version, in a way, is retail. You know what I'm saying? So with Diablo, that isn't the case. It's a game you can still play, yes, but it's a different kind of game.
If we're assuming that's even what they're going to announce, it could be Diablo 4.
I'm just assuming, even myself feeling that announcement, I would be okay with Diablo 2 being remastered. I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
but not with WoW. And that's my point. That's what I'm trying to say.
Because there's two versions. Because we don't have the old version of WoW. That's why it's not the same.
And the implications and
conservation, and emulation.
I just wanted to say that because I think people probably would say, "Oh, well, Diablo 2, you guys are okay with that being remastered, but you aren't not okay with WoW and all this and that." And who's to say after we get Classic and have all this, one day down the line where they do some kind of remastered, I don't know. But right now, this is what is in people's hearts. People have missed the old world for so long. It is that character that they all fell in love with. So many people, and so many people who never got the chance to do it. And now this is what it is. We're going to be able to go back into that world that was so beautiful, so mystical, and that's why those little things like the draw distance makes a difference to me. Because I want to be able to feel that world that I was in, and not being able. And being able to look up and see that mist that enveloped the world, it had an effect on me that when you go on to play retail and you can just see right through, it doesn't look real. It looks almost like you shouldn't be able to see that far. You shouldn't be able to see the mountains that are 2 zones away. I want to feel enveloped in this zone. I want to feel like I'm in Darkshore, or I'm in Duskwood, and I can't see outside of it. I can't see into Elwyn Forest.
Yep.
That is why something like that is so important to me.
I agree. I definitely agree. It just amazes me how far we've came, how far we've come, and I think that within 6 months, guys, we're gonna be playing WoW. 6 to 7 months, and that's like we're gonna be playing vanilla WoW, and then we're gonna be leveling together and questing and guilding together, and we're gonna be for real this time. I'm not saying the classic private servers is nothing, but at the same time, it's like this is it. This is why Nostalrius existed.
Yeah. And I'm having a great time on the private server right now. I really am, and I'll admit it. I've cleared Rag. We killed Rag. We've killed Ani. We've gotten so good that we're doing Ani and all of MC in 3 hours. And a lot of this thing, I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have to get all my best in slot again. I'm gonna have to do all this again. But it's not like some people will be like, oh, you want to do all that again? It's so mundane. But it's not. Like it's what I love. That feeling of getting my benediction. That feeling of getting this item that I know, it's such an epic feeling, and it's such an amazing feeling, and it's what it's all about. And it's that interaction. The interaction I've had with my guildies that I've met has been amazing. I love we literally were helping my guild leader get his Iron Foe. 350 BRD runs he did, and when he got that Iron Foe, Iron Foe, it was friggin' amazing, dude. The whole guild erupted. We're all freaking out, even though I wasn't there when it happened. It was awesome. And are we gonna do that again in BRD when Classic comes out? Have to run BRD 350 times? Probably. Some people would say, "Oh, it's stupid," but it's not, man. It's like that feeling when you get it. There's nothing like it in the world. Yeah, nothing, man. But I don't know. I'm just going off on a tangent now.
But I invite, if anyone from the retail community is listening to this, I invite you guys to definitely give it a try. You might like it. You might welcome the difference that you're experiencing now. Yeah. And for our core audience that you've been here from day one, guys, thanks so much. Thanks for being part of this fight. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing, because little that okay, fine. The more likes, the more subscribes, the more possible revenue we can make. But more importantly, way more importantly than that, the more you like, subscribe, and comment on not just our videos, but every classic WoW content creators videos, you're making this hype more real, and you're making our statement more real and more pronounced. So
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, guys, like, Melderon and I are not in this for the money, okay? We've made probably, ever since... $250. Obviously, that's not why we're doing it, okay? We're doing it because this is what we love. And I think there are so many content creators out there who are also doing it for that same reason. Are people doing it and making a living out of it? Yeah, and that's friggin' awesome and great for them. That makes them no different from my brother and I. You know what I mean? But
why would you knock somebody for making money off something they love?
Yeah, I mean, those guys who are putting in so much time streaming and all this, and that's awesome. Great for you. That's so awesome. You know what I mean? In my life, my life's a little bit different. I have some other things that I've done, with my life where I want to go. But I want this to be my passion as well, and I want to continue to do this as long as I can. And you guys have made that possible. That's amazing. I can't put into words how much that means to me.
Yeah, none of us would exist if it wasn't for you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
None of us would exist. You think, streamers and content creators, literally, the only reason they exist is because you watch our stuff. You listen to our stuff.
Look at Asmongold, man. He goes on his streams and has 40,000 people watching him.
Yeah.
Now imagine soon when that comes into Classic, and there's gonna be 40,000 people watching him for Classic. Like,
yeah,
that's gonna be insane, dude.
Yep.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
So, but what else do we have to cover? Anything?
I think we talked about. Well, do we want to talk a little bit more about BlizzCon and what's going to happen? I think we covered, a lot of. I mean,
pretty much.
We're going to have one day probably where they're going to focus on Classic, right?
So definitely look out for that. That's going to be really important.
And like I said, guys, we're going to be here. We're going to be covering it as much as we can. I'm going to be streaming the demo as much as I can. We're going to be working with other content creators. Keep on the lookout for that, guys. There's a lot of really cool stuff in the works that we're working on. And I just want to say, guys, new videos. We've got some amazing things in the works. Our new Dungeon Diver series came out, which is basically, we kind of stopped with the Super Plate Brothers thing because that server kind of died. So we decided to bring 2 of our patrons along with us in our
Misadventures.
Misfit Adventures. We call it Dungeon Divers, and it's freaking awesome, man. I'm having a great time. We're doing, Let's Plays, discussions, guides, everything. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna have fun doing it, and we want to bring you guys along for the ride. So thank you very much.
Yeah, if you're listening if you're listening to this discussion on a podcast, come visit us on Def Camp Melderon TV on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, if you want to listen to it on your way to work or whatever, check out Def Camp Melderon TV. DefTalk have been a lot of discussions on Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and SoundCloud. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you're on YouTube. That helps us out. That helps out the community as well.
Yes.
Patreon, if you want to donate to us directly. Without the middleman, then that's very much appreciated, and we have a lot of rewards. And
we got some cool rewards for the patrons, and like I said, you can even do the Dungeon Diver series with us if you like. We have another spot open for a 5th if you're interested. So let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right.
Until next time, guys. This is Def Camp signing off.
Melderon.
Sorry. No, go ahead. You want to interrupt me, Melderon? Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to steal the spotlight? Go ahead.
And Melderon.
Signing off. Peace.
See you guys.